Hello, class of 2019. Wow, congratulations. You did it, and we are so proud of you. My name is No Jin Kwak, Chair of the Department of Communication Studies. On behalf of our faculty, staff, and whole host of banks and lending agencies, and the owners of Rick's, Skips, South U Pizzas, and Tomukun Korean Barbecue, I welcome you all to our graduation ceremony. Parents, grandparents, guardians, friends, and families of our graduates, you have done so much to make this day possible. Let's give them a well-deserved round of applause. One of the things that I appreciated most when my own child graduated with a Michigan degree a few years ago was that he had become a young adult, 4 years more mature, 4 years more responsible, and 4 years more confident. In fact, that's the story of all of our graduates. Some of you may soon start paying back the Parents Plus loan, as I do now at the interest rate of 6.96%. But trust me, the future leaders and the best are right here among us. You made the smartest investment. And we thank you for entrusting us and giving us an opportunity to teach these students. I want to take a moment to recognize our wonderful staff. Graduating seniors, you all know Sophia Carson, our undergraduate program coordinator. Sophia is someone who has the answers to your questions and could give you the tools to succeed on your journey. What you might not know about Sophia is that she always goes extra mile, finishing just one more thing for you, double-checking, advocating for you behind the scenes, figuring out how to solve a problem or to offer something new to our students. Let's give Sophia a big hand. The rest of the team in the department office, Elise Bodai, Amy Eaton, Margaret Mason, Allison Kenyon, Ann Titus, Adrian Jenny, and Sydney Moore. All of these people keep the department running in ways you may and may not see, not just today, but every day. Thank you all. Thank you. Class of 2019, can you believe that this day has indeed arrived? In your time on campus, you have learned a great deal about communication media, culture, and technology. In the classes you took, you analyzed media content and effects, discussed the key issues concerning gender, race, and identity in the media, and studied global media, digital technologies, and media industries. And you wrote papers how mediated communication is intertwined with health, politics, controversies, human physiology, environment issues, and citizen activism. You did a project on visual cultures, media law and ethics, fake news, media history, Flint water crisis, and strategic campaigns. You have developed essential skills in problem solving, critical thinking, and logical writing, which will serve you well in the vocation that you choose. All faculty in communication studies truly believe that all of you are on great trajectory. Elder Sang Yong Nam, a Michigan Wolverine, whose legacy has impacted his family, the community, and University of Michigan, emphasize 4 Ds that are important in life: desire, dream, drive, and determination, which I hope will accompany your future as well. We will miss you, but we are absolutely excited that you will be an engaging citizen, a critical consumer of media, and highly successful Wolverine. I'm hopeful that what you learned from COM faculty will have a positive impact on what you will accomplish in the near future year and in many, many promising future years. Having said that, would you mind joining me in thanking your professors? Looking back, I realized that you have been part of historic milestones at Michigan. There are so many. Involved in the bicentennial celebration, which happens only once every 200 years. Check. Participating in diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts in various ways in order to spread ideas, not hate. Check. Going to both the Frozen Four and Final Four in the same year for the first time in history. Check. Woo! Being the first graduating class to experience life without Michigan time. This year was somewhat difficult, right? Check. Seeing firsthand the significant expansion of our undergraduate programming in the department, including research showcase, senior thesis program, career explorations event, undergraduate fellows program, open house, decoration celebration, the launch of our mini internship, and a field trip to Google. Check. Back-to-back 2 days of school closing due to Michigan's extreme cold. Check. Finally, beating Ohio State in football. We'll check maybe this year. Once you leave Michigan, you'll be on your way to creating your own milestones for yourself, for society, and the world. Hopefully, you will take with you what you learned at Michigan as you embark your next chapters. All of us at COM will cheer for you. Go Blue. Now let me introduce two important groups of the department community. Michigan Association of Communication Studies senior officers, could you please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Now, Communication Studies undergraduate fellows, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Now, allow me to introduce Professor Jan Vandenborg, our senior thesis program director. He will present the 2019 Communication Studies senior thesis students.
Good afternoon. At this point, we would like to take a moment to recognize the work of our thesis students. At the beginning of the fall semester, you all came in with weird, vague, and contradictory ideas. Some of you weren't sure you wanted to be here, and whenever we mentioned any of the early steps in the process, at least one of you would recoil in horror. You mean I actually have to talk to people? What if they don't want to talk to me? Throughout the year, we saw you grow into fully fledged researchers. A few of you realized this wasn't your cup of tea right now, or made career choices that took you elsewhere. I want to give a shout out to you too, because I hope that you took away something from that about what's important to you in your career, and I know that took courage. I would like to take a few moments to acknowledge our students, their advisors, and their senior thesis projects. Amber Bates, advisor Professor Salim, a hostile online environment, toxic masculinity and aggression resulting from unregulated YouTube content, and honors level I honors. Tia Burton, advisor Professor Moshin, are you Afro-Latina because you're wearing an afro, identifying constructions of Afro-Latinidad and intersectional identity in American media. Jacqueline Delgado, advisor Professor Lawson, queer Latina representation in the media. Sydney Foy, advisor Professor Hassel, When will they believe her? The role of partisanship and framing of sexual misconduct in the news. Honors level, high honors. Adele Gendron, advisor Professor Lawson. Brighten myself back up a bit. 13 reasons why, conversation and reaching out. Ali Kusler, advisor Professor Dalsin. Don't skip the ad, evaluating the influence of empowering YouTube advertisements on self-help content. Honors level, honors. Catherine Mercer, advisor Professor Draper. Airy Fake, exploring the impact of commodity feminism on young female audiences. Honors level, highest honors. Bashir Pasha, advisor Professor Salim. Representation Matters, effect of Muslim media portrayals on Muslim American college students, honors level, highest honors. I would now like to announce the Mark Foote Distinguished Thesis Award. Established in 2003 by the family of Mark Foote, a devoted University of Michigan alumnus and longtime leader in journalism, who served for over 40 years as a national and international news correspondent for Booth Newspaper Syndicate in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Washington, D.C. This award is given to the Communication Studies undergraduate student for the most outstanding senior thesis in terms of scientific rigor and theoretical contribution. This year, the award is presented to Bashir Pasha. If the thesis students would please stand and be recognized.
Once again, congratulations. Now I would like to invite Max President Emily Purdy to say a few words. Emily?
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Purdy, and I served as the president of the Michigan Association of Communication Studies this past year. I just wanted to start it off by saying congratulations, everyone. We did it. We made it through all of the late-night study sessions at the Ugly, finishing grueling papers about technological affordances, conglomeration, and digitization. Don't worry if you didn't understand that, Mom and Dad. At least you know we learned something. One of the things that I have always loved about the University of Michigan is its alumni network and the dedication that many of these alum have to connecting with Michigan students. I want to leave you all with some advice today, that being, your legacy means nothing if you don't bring others along for the ride. Some of us might already have jobs, might be moving to a big city, or some of us are going to grad school. Regardless, we all have big dreams. When we came to Michigan, we were wowed by the opportunities that our education presented, and many of us were excited to get internships and start making strides towards our careers. If you are anything like me, I would never have gotten any of my internships without the help of my network, many people within it being Michigan alumni. Even if we are not close with these mentors, many of these people mean a lot to us, as they helped us get internships, jobs, or even just gave us life advice. I want to restate what I said before. Your legacy means nothing if you don't bring others along for the ride. These mentors have left their mark on our lives. Now it is our turn to leave our legacy on our fellow Wolverines. If you don't share your expertise with others and simply keep it to yourself, what are you giving to the world? There will be times, whether a year from now or 10 years from now, where there will be a Michigan student in the same position where we have all been, looking for advice from a communication studies alumni. While it may be easy to turn away, your advice can leave a far greater impact than you may ever know. So today, I would like to challenge you to think about the legacy that older Wolverines have had on your life and how you can leave yours on those students who come after us. After all, we are the leaders and best. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. You may already know today's speaker, Andrea Joyce. Yes, that Andrea Joyce. Ms. Joyce is a member of a class of 1976. In fact, the best of a class of 1976 is right here. So welcome to the graduation ceremony. She's a reporter for NBC Sports Group, covering events like the US Figure Skating Championships and P&G Gymnastics Championships. Her debut as a reporter was at the 1988 Olympic Summer Games in Seoul for ESPN. She worked 3 Winter Games for CBS, serving as co-host of weekend and opening and closing ceremony coverage at the 1994 Lillehammer Winter Games and the 1998 Nagano Winter Games. Andrea co-hosted CBS's weekend coverage of 1992 Albertville Winter Games. Her reporting portfolio includes figure skating and short track speed skating at the 2014 Sochi Olympic Winter Games, gymnastics at the 2012 London Olympic Games, figure skating and short track during the 2012 Vancouver Winter Games. I feel like I'm a historian of Olympics. I have a few more to go. And gymnastics and rhythmic gymnastics at the 2008 Beijing Summer Games, figure skating and short track from the 2006 Toledo Winter Games, diving and gymnastics at the 2004 Athens Summer Games, speed skating at the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Games, and diving, swimming during the 2000 Sydney Summer Games. In Sydney, Ms. Joyce also covered women's soccer and women's water polo, in addition to contributing to the sports desk. She served as a reporter during the NBC's coverage of the 2000 Olympic diving trials and the 2000 Olympic swimming trials. She also served as a reporter for NBA on NBC and WNBA on NBC broadcasts. A member of the Women's Sports Foundation, Andrea has covered a wide variety of sports, including figure skating, boxing, and dog shows. And of course, she loves the University of Michigan. Let's give a Go Blue round of applause for Ms. Andrea Joyce. We are live tweeting today's event, so I want to do something special. Do you mind if we take a picture together?
Oh, sure.
Okay, let's do that then.
I never had a professor with a selfie stick.
Thank you.
So the Cliff Note version of my resume, she's old. Really old. Thank you so much. I am absolutely honored to be here. Nobody told me how emotional it would be marching through the Michigan Theater. You should know that I truly bleed maize and blue. One of my best memories growing up outside of Detroit came every fall when my father would paint the cinder block wall in the basement maize and blue, big block M, and my mother tolerated it. My roommates and I chose our house senior year based solely on the proximity to the big house. We lived on the corner of Division and Hoover. We watched the band practice all day on Fridays. We put out 3 kegs of beer on Saturday morning, and when the downstairs bathroom flooded, we knew it was time to go to the game, right? Today, my dog is named Maisie Blue. She has her own Instagram account. You should look her up. And I will admit that I still get misty-eyed every time I hear the words, "Band, take the field." As you prepare for your next chapter, I want to remind all of you, please do not ever, ever underestimate the value of your time here and the depth of the relationships that you've made. It is truly a lifetime gift. My best friend then, Claudia, is my best friend now, and she is here today to cheer me on as I am here to cheer you on. You are about to be admitted into the biggest, best club on the planet. After tomorrow, you get to say, I am a Michigan alum. Those words are powerful, they're emotional, and they're life-changing. And in the words of Jim Harbaugh, let's say it, who's got it better than us, right? Believe me, I remember all of the excitement of this day. It was a long time ago, and the anxiety. I mean, seriously, how many times have you guys been asked in the last couple of months, what are you going to do next? You have a job? What are you going to do? Well, in 1976, I was in a ceremony just like this one for the Speech Communications Department. And I'll admit, I'm not exactly sure if it was the week-long graduation hangover or if it was all of the confusion about my future. I just remember having the absolute worst headache in the world. I was sitting next to a very good friend of mine, and we were spitballing ideas. You know, we were clueless, absolutely clueless about what we were going to do next. All of a sudden, I hear my name called. I had won a $500 scholarship to go to grad school. I turned to my friend and I said, well, I'm done. I guess I'm going to grad school. Not exactly a well thought out plan. I kind of let somebody else take the reins and kind of drive me in that direction. So clearly back then I had no roadmap. Nobody had ever heard of anything like GPS. And I'm going to tell you, even today, you guys, you got no GPS for this. None at all. Before I go any further, though, I want to make a confession to all of you. I have something called the imposter complex. Some of you may have heard of it. Women seem to have it more than men. You can Google it if you haven't heard of it. They've written a book about it. Here's the most recent example for me. 2 years ago, I was invited to be part of the bicentennial that Professor Kwok talked about, the Michigan Bicentennial at Hill Auditorium. Lots and lots of famous alums being invited to participate. Astronauts, world-renowned doctors, politicians, James Earl Jones, Desmond Howard. I mean, this was like such an impressive group of people, right? So I'm checking into the hotel and I meet this woman, Judith Gaskin. Judith tells me that she was on the steps of the Michigan Union when a presidential candidate named John F. Kennedy spoke and planted the seeds for what became the Peace Corps. She was one of the very first volunteers. They called her the mother of the Peace Corps. So, standing there in the lobby of the Graduate, Judy asks me, in so many words, so what are you doing here? What's your claim to fame? Why are you here? I paused and I said, well, I was one of the first women in the locker room to see men naked. Talk about feeling like an imposter, like you didn't belong. Oh dear. Without question, though, we all have plenty of doubts and insecurities at one time or another. Well, let me check that for 1 second. Maybe not all of us. Maybe there's one guy in Washington who doesn't really have any of those doubts or insecurities. But when you're asked to do something like this, you do a lot of self-examination. And as it turns out, the imposter complex became my best friend. Don't ever forget that. It forced me to work my butt off, to prove myself day in and day out. I worked harder than anybody in the room and then some. But really, you guys have all worked so incredibly hard to get to this day, right? So many of us work hard. So beyond that, as I was getting ready to do this, I had to ask myself, what led me, a pretty regular kid from Dearborn Heights, Michigan, to have this extraordinary life? Well, as it turns out, it's not really that complicated, and it all started, as you might imagine, right here at Michigan. This is where I learned about the power of curiosity. Being curious takes you out of your comfort zone. It helps you to tackle your fears and embrace the unknown. And believe me, that is when your life gets really interesting. It was curiosity that would push me to say yes to take a road less traveled and open up a whole world of possibilities. Since I wasn't exactly passionate about that grad school decision, I decided to drop out, a grad school dropout. And I put myself out there in the world of television. I thought it's time for me to go and try my hand at a career. Now, you have to understand that back in the 70s, there were virtually no jobs for women in television broadcasting. I had 3 offers, all of them to be the weather girl at local TV stations. Not the weather person, not the weather forecaster, not even the weather woman, the weather girl. I took one of those offers in Colorado Springs. I had to take a massive pay cut from my bartending job at the Real Seafood Company. I made $4 an hour. Some of my classmates told me that I was crazy. My professors were stunned, borderline heartbroken. You're dropping out of graduate school at the University of Michigan to go be a weather girl? They had such high hopes for me. Dashed. So off I go to Colorado Springs, weatherman before me, 6'6". He's a giant of a man, and he's got this enormous map. This was the dark ages, long before green screens, right? So he's got an actual physical map. Clearly, making $4 an hour, there's no money in the budget for a smaller map, so I come up to Oklahoma. So I'm up to Oklahoma, and if I want to do the weather in the Pacific Northwest, I've got to use a pointer, right? I had to get on a stool to carefully place the Velcro sun clouds and the rain clouds and the fronts. I was told to wear skirts and dresses, and on Thursdays, we gave away snowblowers. I mean, it sounds a little bit ridiculous, right? Well, it turns out that was one of the best decisions I ever made. I was curious, I faced the unknown head on, and a door opened. And once that door opens, don't believe anything anybody tells you, you guys. Once it's open, trust me, it's a lot easier to push your way through that door. So that weather gig led me to Wichita, Kansas for my first news job. I'm not going to go through my entire resume, but you got to hear a couple of these stories. You probably all thought that the Will Ferrell movie Anchorman was a comedy. Documentary. I was hired by the CBS affiliate to be the station's first female co-anchor. I was Wichita's Veronica Corningstone. And just like the movie Anchorman, all of the men on the set had one mission and one mission only: to make the girl mess up. Among the antics, you cannot make this stuff up, seriously. The sportscaster had a taxidermy segment once a week, and I would be reading voiceover copies, so my face is not on camera, serious news stories, and he would be pecking me on the shoulder with a giant pheasant, a stuffed giant pheasant. Peck, 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 no laugh, peck, 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 peck. Anything to get me to try and laugh. Funny story, right? But back then, completely terrified. Me laughing through serious news, well, that would have been the end of my very, very short career in television. And what would it say about putting women in those kinds of jobs, right? Believe me, it got more and more complicated when I became one of the first female TV sportscasters. Totally uncharted territory. In Dallas, a viewer used to call every single time I was in front of the camera and complain and threaten to start a petition and boycott the station if they didn't get that you-know-what woman off the air. So many times, I have been so far out of my comfort zone, but I survived. And it's not because I was brave, but it was because I found a way to embrace it. I mastered those Velcro rain clouds. I beat the clowns who were trying to get me to fail, and all of the small-minded viewers who couldn't stand to have a woman reading the sports. And I'm still here, I'm still working, and I'm proud to say, and this is an applause line, I am the oldest woman working on national television doing sports. It's what you get from Michigan. You don't just learn to thrive, you learn how to survive, right? So more than 30 years in this business, including 14 Olympics, traveling around the globe, interviewing thousands of athletes in every sport under the sun, maybe the most important thing I've learned is that I'm not unique. The best athletes in the world, the most successful people in the world find greatness find happiness for that matter, basically the same way. They push through their fears and their insecurities, and they do it with curiosity and hard work. In 1997, I interviewed Venus Williams when she made her US Open debut, and she played the very first match on the brand new Arthur Ashe Stadium, an African-American teenager christening that court. In that moment, Venus faced pressure that none of us can even imagine. Today, we know that her resume is breathtaking. She has a career that has spanned over 2 decades, but my best memory of Venus Williams is from that day, the deep breath that she took and the poise that she showed in that completely terrifying moment. 2 months ago, I was in Sweden for the World Alpine Championships in Lindsey Vonn's very last race. Lindsey Vonn, one of the greatest skiers of all time, after everything that she's accomplished, after that final race, she does that last interview with me down at the finish line, and she says, "Yeah, I was nervous, I was scared." Scott Hamilton, the amazing Olympic figure skating champion and 4-time cancer survivor, once told me, "I figure I've fallen down 41,600 times in my life, but I got up 41,600 times. Venus, Lindsey, Scott, countless others, their stories are all about persevering and facing the unknown head on. Now, years from now, you guys are never gonna remember who gave this speech today. Heck, you probably won't even remember tonight when you're at Rick's on your 3rd round of drinks and beers. But I hope that you do take just one thing from my speech today, and I hope that no matter what you decide, you let your curiosity guide you. It can help you navigate that road out there because you know that there are gonna be times that road is gonna be bumpy and it's gonna be full of potholes. But that curiosity will also make you a better person, a more compassionate human being, and it connects you to the world. Curiosity forces you to live in the moment and be present in your own life. I implore all of you, each and every one of you, be curious. It will open your eyes, it will open your mind, open your heart, and ultimately, it will open doors to a life of experiences that you can't even imagine. So my sincerest congratulations, heartfelt best wishes to all of you, and forever and ever, go blue!
Thank you, Andrea. Now we will present certificates to the graduating members of the class of 2019.
Emily Purdy. Amber Bates. Tia Antoinette Burton. Catherine Mercer. Allie Kessler. Adele Gendron. Sydney Foy. Emily Hine. Abby Geffen. Yael Brown. Amanda Lee. Kirsty McInnes. Emily Mew. Mia Pearson. Jacqueline Schlein. Julia Sidlowski. Zachary Cascalo-Cox. Jordana Schmidt. Allison Kraft. Robin Goldbaum. Caroline Cohen. Emily Bluestein. Sydney Adler. Molly Farber. Rebecca Resnick. Kathleen Horsfall. Jeffrey Brooks. Sharice Jones. Julia Ross. Catherine Kreshik. Aisha Carter. Akina Johnson. Swoji Lee. Yeonju Kim. Elaine Miao. Francesca Taisi. Singe Chen. Mingyu Mimo Shen. Ariana Sauber. Jana Wilson. Dylan Lacroix. Lana Ziegler. Caitlin Forbes. Sophia Rogg. Alyssa Maria Abate. Nicole Davtan. Mary Kate Kemp. Sophia Georginas. Adela Park. Vivian Wu. Hannah Lupi. Kelsey Sampson. Michael Bila. Samuel Riesman. Spencer Porter. Caroline Hendershot. Josephine Gardner. Evan Ruderman. Ariel Sherris. Stephanie Harris. Shannon Norrie. Ariana Wong. Bryn Bonaker. Brandon Quaritz. Michaela McMurray. Marissa Apple. Emily Beaver. Talia Halfter. Samuel Reck. Rebecca Simonov. Emma Safel. Sophia Draper. Caroline Resnick. Annabelle McGuire. Madison Jabber. Emily Price Coplin. Sarah Ringwood. Gabrielle Gregg. Olivia Scott. Haley Jatakis. Charlie Wolf. Elizabeth George. Alexa Moss. Gabriella Hirschler. Catherine Rausch. Alexandra Brooke. Emma Target. Margaret Davis. Alexandra Baker. Lily Basile. Mary DeAngelo. Haley Mayer. Ariana Cohen. Alpana Nandi. Claire Duckworth. Alexa DeLuca. Emily Mann. Miguel Angel Mendoza. Olivia Reben. Galen Moore. Brittany Arafat. Giuseppe Giovanni Guarino. Rachel Huser. Heather Cummings. Jose Enrique Rivera Colasso. Sarah Flanagan. Austin Thomas. Kyla Christina Cano. Lauren Westfall. Grace Brosamle. Paige Capellis. Jessica Bleiweiss. Aaron Greenberg. Danielle Immerman. Leslie Monroe Fellwalk. Christiane Suzuki. Dana Nathanson. Van Nguyen. Songhee Sool. Amanda Brown. Sierra Klein Kassab. Jennifer Mancini. Summer Seeger. Jacqueline Mooney. Ariella Salter. Chloe McQuiston Lane. Christina Rose Udell. Riley Kennedy. Sophie Ponso Kofoid. Emily Catherine Phobes. Isabel Rogers. Gretchen Bacher Arkema. Blair Nicole Gould. Cole Gerlach. Jackson Codiga. Renee Diaz. Dominique Canis. Brittany Rivera. Alexandra Nam. Jesse Hallstrom. Maren Longnecker. Amelia Griffith. Marley Wilshire. Serena Pergola. Matthew Kaplan. Paige Widener. Christina Brown. Grace Feinerman. Lauren Schwab. Rachel Fernandez. Kayla Kazika. Christopher David Ryan. Zachary Olson. Dorothy Greenfield. Kara Wallach. Margaret Martin. Elizabeth Wilberding. Justin Agee. Harry Epstein. Peyton Miles. Allison Taylor. Giovanna Arcado. Aaron Ceballos. Brittany Belding. Ariel Kim. McKenna Rooker. Chase Niziak. Alexa St. John. Caitlin Mulcahy. Lainey Byler. Michael Persak. Paige Vaufray. Haley Tome. Emma Wei. Yang Zhao.
Wow, congratulations, class of 2019. This year, we have a special vocal performance by our very own graduating senior, Zachary Casahalo Cox, and who will be accompanied by Joshua Marjan on the keyboard, and they will perform Pure Imagination. Please welcome both of them to the stage.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West. Go Blue.
Thank you, Zachary and Joshua, and thank you all for attending 2019 commencement. Congratulations again, class of 2019. Please remain in your seat until the faculty and graduates have recessed. Thank you so much.